circuits they roam. In a world where the Dita is the unsung hero. Welcome to the stage, the Eat Sleep Code Show. Syntax tight, our semicolons in a row. With the AI beats and the database flow. Grab your gear, hit compile and let's go. We're breaking walls in our virtual chateau. With every line we write, our universe will grow. Welcome to the grid where the brave dare to code. Eat, sleep, code. Let the systems overload. Sending signals in the neon afterglow.
All right. They moved things in StreamYard again. Thanks for the update, StreamYard, but I couldn't
Press
find the button.
go live.
I couldn't find the button. Hello. Welcome to Eat Sleep Code, the official Telerik podcast. I'm your host, Ed Charbonneau. With me is John Burstow. How are you doing, John?
I'm good. It's what time is it? 6:30 in the morning here in lovely Australia. It's a little chilly. That's the sweater. But yeah, things are good. We're doing lots of stuff over here at Octopus Deploy Land, which is fun. And yeah, lots of really interesting work happening at the moment. So yeah, but things are good.
Awesome. It is winter where you're at. It is dead summer here in July. So I will be on vacation for the next week, and then I have a conference tour going on for the first couple weeks of August. So we're going to have a little bit of a summer break for the show. But we'll pick it back up near the middle of August when I come back from St. Louis and Kansas City. So two really good conferences. They happen to be back to back. And then there's a third one too. Sam's going to be doing all three of them. Crazy guy. He's going to be out in VS Live in Las Vegas, or sorry, no, VS Live in Redmond, start of August. So if you're in that neck of the woods, VS Live is an amazing conference. Give it a Google if you're in the Redmond area. And then if you're in St. Louis, the DevUp conference is there. And
Very nice.
I'll be
Very
at
nice.
that. And then in Kansas City, it is the KCDC conference, and we'll all be there as well. So the good old Telerik Progress Tour coming to the Midwest.
Yes.
Where the
Very
party's
nice.
at.
Yes, the Midwest. It's always like that series of it's one of those many cities you see on the back of a rock band tour concert, sort of thing. And it's always, I always think of that scene out of The Simpsons where Steven Tyler's character is like, "Hello, St. Louis," like, St. Louis and Kansas City and all those sort of Midwest always remind me of good rock tours.
All right, John. We've got quite a bit of news to cover this week, and
Yes, we do.
We should start by prefacing with there's a lot of AI in here again. Big surprise, right?
Yep, there is.
This one is an AI prompting guide. I've been really interested in all of these type of things lately. These prompting guides, prompt books, however you want to call them.
Right.
This one is the OpenAI Cookbook GPT 4.1 Prompting Guide. And this is up on, if you can go to cookbook.openai.com and you'll find these there. But these cookbooks or our prompt books is basically a collection of prompts that you can use to do specific tasks. And they're prompts that are known to work for specific things.
Yep.
And this is immensely helpful.
Yep.
If you are getting into building something and you don't know where to start, or you just don't want to reinvent the wheel, you can look up these cookbooks. And this one has like agentic workflows. There's some really good stuff in here. It talks about tool calling, let's see here. And then it has the entire prompt and all of the steps for the AI to take to complete the task. Some of these even have variables for you to fill in or programmatically fill in. Long context. So if you're dealing with a task that fills up your context window and you're running out of space in that context window, this is like best practices on how to handle that. Chain of thought. So if you want your agent or your AI to be more like a research buddy and do more intensive chain of thought type tasks, there's prompts in here for this as well.
Very nice.
Instruction flow, all sorts of good stuff in here. And like I said, the full prompts are in here, as well as some kind of guidance around all of it. So they're not just throwing the prompt at you, expecting you to know how it works. They're actually providing some context for the humans involved as well. So you can read through, find out if these are the prompts that you need for your next big AI app. I love these type of things.
These ones are great for GPT 4.1, which is great. That's the prompting guy that it's like the strategies you want for this. But if you go to cookbook.openai.com, there are more generic ones as well that you can use. So these are featured cookbooks, etc. So the ChatGPT one is there, but there's other ones as well that you can take a look at.
Yeah, the 4.1 one's fairly new. There's also some nice guardrail stuff in here, multimodal examples. So yeah, this cookbook.openai.com is really good. And it says there's for specific models, but these generally work across multiple different vendors and everything. A lot of these AIs are very similar. Some of them prefer like XML over Markdown a little bit.
Yep.
So there might be some finessing there. I think we talked about this last week with Visual Studio Code as well. Like they open sourced that, and there is their raw prompts in there that they use. And oddly enough, they use their own prompting technique with a TypeScript wrapper. So all their prompts are written in TypeScript, and they're basically TSX files. And all of the XML formatting is taken care of by the TypeScript component. So it abstracts it away a little bit. It's really neat the way they do that. So if you want to see some other examples, then just download or fork the source code for Visual Studio Code's Copilot that they just open sourced.
Nice.
If you really want to get into the weeds on this stuff, John, this is something, I don't even know how the heck I found this. This was a research prototype by Microsoft. It's called Magnetic UI.
Yeah, this happens a lot.
And the full GitHub source code is there. This is all written in Python and TypeScript. So if you're not a Python expert, this might be a little bit of a steep learning curve. It definitely would be for me, but it's a very interesting research prototype that takes it's kind of like building your own Copilot or your own chatbot to help you do certain tasks. But this one is specifically for, I don't know why the video's not playing at all. Jeez. Thanks. Thanks for the
Press
live
play.
demo. I did press play. It's just not doing it.
We've been
That's the
using
video.
computers
It's just a
long.
logo. Just a still logo that we recorded. No, it's not tracking for some reason. I don't know. But there's a lot of screenshots in here we can look at. So this one is built to, let's back up. Copilot. You go in and you type in questions, it gives you answers, right? You can have it. You can have it generate text. You can have it create PowerPoint presentations and images and things. It's generative AI at its best. This is different. This uses a bunch of agents to go out on the web and perform tasks for you. And some of the things you can have it do is like, all right, I want to go order a pizza and have it delivered to my house, and it'll go out and like find a website that allows you to do this and place the order for you. And in this example, that it's like going out to Grubhub, and it comes back and it's like, here's some pizzas that are offered. Like, what do you want from it? Like, do you want to add these things? And then you give it some feedback and then hit accept, and it goes out and places the order for you. So like, it's kind of like human in the loop. You've got your agents that go out, they perform a task, they come back with some answers. You accept certain things, whether you want to spend that kind of money or put those toppings on your pizza, and it continues on from there. And that's just one example of what it can do. It can like book travel for you. It can become a travel agent. It's pretty open-ended. It's taking a browser and agents and your input and just going bananas. So you can build this thing and run it and try it out. The setup for it looks a little crazy. There's a lot of Python in here. A lot of Python installation stuff, running it, a lot of client keys that you're going to have to sign up for and input. But it is all open source, and you can just, if you want a weekend project, you can go nuts on this thing.
Nice.
It is really cool. So this is the future, folks. You just be able to talk to your browser. We don't need websites anymore.
No.
Let this thing just go off and do all your things.
We've been saying this for a while, Ed, right? It's all about the agents, right? So it's like any problem you have with a system, it's the network. It's always the network. Well, with AI, it's always the agents. So the primary goal, obviously, of this is to enhance the agent support, the agent performance, rather, excuse me. And it's all about, I would say, boosting user productivity for web-based tasks. So, whether you have a user or not, if an automation or etc. But you're prompted and there's an agent involved. This is looking at how, in a research prototype concept, how you can explore the human in the loop approaches for agentic design.
Yeah, it even has like this step-by-step like wizard that you can use. So you can tell it, step 1, I want you to go do X. Step 2, I want you to go do Y. And you can drag and drop those things around like it's shown in the video. And you could keep, this kind of workflow and reuse it. It's going to go browse the web for you, provide screenshots and everything. It's just wild. I thought they were using some .NET tech under here. Turns out it's all Python.
They use AutoGen. Yes. So AutoGen, for those who don't know, this is from Microsoft. It's an open source framework, and it's designed to basically make it easier for you to build multi-agent workflows using LLMs. And so it allows you to coordinate these things very easily. Yep. And so, definitely something. So in the context of this project, it means that the project itself leverages AutoGen to power its multi-agent system.
Awesome. I didn't see that at the top. I was looking for Playwright to be in here. I didn't see Playwright. Playwright, if you wanted to build something like this yourself, you can use Playwright. Playwright's like a web testing framework from Microsoft, and they recently added an MCP server for it that you can just like task the agent to go out on the web and do all sorts of things with. It's really wild. Speaking of AI and all of the AI things, John.
Yes.
Here at Progress, we are very, very in tune with the AI stuff that's happening. And we've been working on a big acquisition of a product called Nuclea. I was involved in some of this acquisition, so I know the Nuclea software very well now. I've been able to, been working with it for like probably about 2 months and haven't been able to talk about any of it anywhere because of NDAs and whatnot. But
congratulations.
Thank you. This RAG technology that Nuclea has is really cool. If you go to nuclea.com, you can get back to that press release up at the top if you want to read all that legal stuff. But check out nuclea.com. It has a very low barrier to entry if you want to do some RAG. So this is
Yep.
retrieval augmented generation.
Mhm.
And the idea here is you have documents. Doesn't really matter where they are. The Nuclea,
Unstructured data.
yes, if you have unstructured data, the Nuclea system can ingest it very easily. There's like a very intuitive wizard that is for all sorts of things like site maps, raw documents, repositories of all sorts, web crawler, scraper, you name it, it can do it. You could throw it at a sitemap and just like consume an entire site. And it's got nice feature flags in there too, where you can say, scrape this website with this sitemap, but exclude these CSS selectors because of their repetitive crap like menus or footer items or something you don't want to keep adjusting over and over. So
Right.
it's very well thought through in that regard. And then once you have all of that data, you can just ask questions with AI. It's got AI built in. It uses various large language models in the back end that you can configure which one you want to use. So you could use like DeepSeek if you wanted. You could use Azure AI, and you can just search through all of the data that you ingested and ask it natural language questions, and it'll give you answers and cite sources. And it's for small to medium-sized businesses to get into the RAG space very quickly, and definitely worth checking out if this is something that you're interested in.
Nice. Congrats.
Thank you. That's big news for Progress, because we have a lot of different platforms that can integrate with. So the next couple of years or months and years is going to be exciting in that space. All right,
Awesome.
more AI. If you consume all the AIs, John, you ragify all of your data,
Oh,
turn it
geez.
into YouTube videos.
Yes.
Is this a problem?
Yeah, it is. I don't know if I'm a user of YouTube. I know you are as well. A lot of folks are. And YouTube is here to save the day by cracking down on those delightful, mass-produced, mind-numbingly boring AI videos that we've all come to love. This is what we call the AI slop that you see generated everywhere. So, because what's better than watching the same robotic voice recite top 10 reasons your cat hates you over endless stock footage? I know I've watched it for 400 times, and apparently it's amazing. So anyways, starting on July 15th, if your channel is cranking out all this stuff, then your revenues are going to quickly dry up, because YouTube is definitely cracking down on this. So this is an announcement from YouTube. Basically, they're preparing to start to restrict this. They also made some changes around live streaming as well. So you have to be now 16 years or older to live stream through YouTube, which has a capability there. But yeah, something that's coming along. YouTube, I mean, it's just like, they're bravely championing these authentic and high quality content, because obviously nothing screams originality quite like enforcing more rules on who gets paid. Congratulations to the actual humans out there who are actually going to make videos for a living. It's hard. I've done this. You've done this. It's making content is takes a long time. So I think it's well worth it.
I mean, I can see where this is a problem. They're talking about the low quality media stuff, and it's AI voice overlaid on photos. I've seen too many of these, and like smaller companies, like I'm talking really small, that want to have an advertising platform are going to this, and I keep getting like these really corny ads where it's these voiceover things, and it's just a montage of video or photos. And it's like, buy our game. It has no ads, blah, blah, blah. It's like, this is so bad, guys. Like, hire at least one marketing person. This is terrible. So that type of stuff is thanks to text to video AI tools. Yes, thank you so much.
Yes. We all know those. I've used them. They're garbage. I think people look at the exceptions and they're like, this is amazing, but the rule is often just not even close to what you're asking for. So I think we're a long way off when it comes to video gen. However, that being said, the sort of parallax, zoom in, zoom out video text with 11 Labs generated voice, very common.
Adding a feature because ChatGPT incorrectly thinks it exists.
Yes.
What is going on here?
This was a really, really clever sort of blog post. Not clever in the sense of what they discovered, but this is an article that I read earlier today, which was really kind of fun. So basically, there's this company. They're called SoundSlice. And what they do is they read sheet music, they digitize it, and turn it into a form that you can use it. So it's kind of like a music scanner, essentially. And so so this is the CEO, Adrian, who wrote about this, and what he was finding was that, typically you get an input that looks like this, and then what he was discovering is people were taking screenshots of ChatGPT with ASCII chords for guitars, and he was like, this is what it's called, the ASCII tablature, I think it's called, and it basically teaches you how to do guitar string chords via ASCII art. And what he was finding was, he was looking at the logs. He's like, people were uploading this stuff. He's like, what are you talking about? Well, the problem was, and this is the funny part, was ChatGPT was telling people, if you'll notice in the second screenshot, hey, if you want to listen to this, go over to SoundSlice. This is the guy's website, the AI thing that he did, and go and upload it there. We'll generate it for you. And Adrian was like, what the F? Like, we don't do this. And so they had to build it, basically. And so this was a case of
Chat built it.
Yes, so they didn't have this support. ChatGPT was telling people, "Hey, go to SoundSlice. It supports it." And the CEO, the founder of SoundSlice, was like, "No, we don't. What are you talking about?" And so he started seeing this avalanche of these uploads coming in, and he's like, "Well, we better build this." And so they ended up building it, which was kind of funny.
That's amazing. It's actually really
it's
cool.
like the tail wagging the dog, so to speak.
I mean, you have like SEO marketers and stuff right now scrambling to figure out what to do to drive traffic to their websites. Now that
it's called GEO now. I don't know if you know this, Ed. It's called GEO. So GEO is the new SEO.
Yeah. So those folks are scrambling, and this is like the opposite. Like, this is their dream come true, is having this happen to your website.
Yes,
whether
absolutely.
the feature exists or not.
Oh,
it's kind of like the political saying, like, no, what is it? No,
no good. No, and good news, bad news is good news. Whatever, any news is good news. That sort of thing.
Yeah, like there's no such thing as bad publicity or something like that. This is kind of like that. It's like, I mean, we don't have this feature, but it's not bad to have millions of people coming to your website. And then heck, if we can implement this, that's a double win. This is all free business now. This is really awesome for them.
This is what Adrian wrote. He's like, at the end of his blog post, he says, so we ended up deciding, what the heck, we might as well meet the market demand. So we put together a bespoke ASCII tab importer, and we changed the UI to allow it. And he said, to my knowledge, this is the first case of a company developing a feature because ChatGPT is incorrectly telling people it exists. Yay? Question mark.
That is amazing.
Yeah.
That was definitely something I didn't see coming.
No.
That's a heck of a plot twist. Carl's
coming from inside the house. Sorry.
A new era of Stack Overflow.
Yeah. I like Stack Overflow. I know that for a lot of people, it has a very deep part of people's hearts, especially for developers, obviously. But Stack Overflow, Stack Exchange helps a lot of people. DIYers, for example. A lot of folks use it there. But basically, for the last 3 years, they've been at this conference called We Are Developers. It's this thing that happens in Berlin, and they do kind of like a State of the Union every year. And so they came out with this one where they're talking about basically what Stack Overflow is accepting or embracing the AI era. So they're recognizing that the transformation of AI is here. Stack Overflow, the fact that this is a lot of contention around whether or not AI generated answers are really going to serve folks, but basically what they're saying here is that we're going to introduce a bunch of stuff, and they're going to aim to serve as a reliable human intelligence layer amidst the proliferation of all this AI slop that using the YouTube term. So they talk about like how 83% of developers reporting the use or of intention to use these AI tools in their workflows. That's a rise from 76%, as cited in the article here. There's this growing momentum to use this, and so there's at the same time, and they also recognize this. There's a concurrent or parallel increase in skepticism around this, but they have to do a good job. And so they've basically come out and said they're going to renew their mission and vision around this, and they're going to do some features. And some of the features they talk about this is like they base it around community, so bringing people together, so enhancing the community engagement that they have available there. This is something that Stack Overflow has tried for a while, but they're looking to go beyond just Q&A. They're looking to basically target all sorts of scenarios. And one of the diagrams that they feature in this article is a slide that they have. They talk about this sort of going beyond the canonical Q&A library into a place where there's all these forms of content, long-term video, short-term video, articles, AI validation, blogs, meetups, etc. So we'll see how they can cultivate community. This is a tough challenge. There's lots of players in this space. I think it's a good thing for them to go after. I am always been a huge fan of Stack Overflow, but as we all know, in the past few years, because of AI, it's being used less and less.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see them do some kind of revenue share, because this whole database that they've built to run all this AI stuff off.
I'm sure guys like John Skeet would really appreciate that. So
is all of your users' free time that they've put into this. They're
chasing the virtual points.
Yeah,
I'm looking to cash in.
That'd be the good faith thing for them to do, in my opinion. I mean,
Okay.
So a lot of content that people put into their website for free, and they've always engineered it so you can't post outbound links and stuff without getting downvoted and all of that. And now they're just going to turn around and sell it to the highest bidder. But yay, Stack Overflow. We have different opinions on Stack Overflow, John.
That's all right.
I haven't been on the pro side for a while, but good luck for them, I guess.
Yeah, that's my opinion for everything. Yeah.
IKEA's entering the smart home genre, I guess. What are they doing?
Okay, so to put some context here, so IKEA's been in the smart home business for a while. I don't know if you've been to IKEA lately,
did not
but
know that.
yeah, they sell a bunch of smart light bulbs, etc., and they have a long term. I mean, it makes sense. IKEA is one of the largest vendors of homewares in the world. Basically, it's a monster, right? And they sell a bunch of stuff. Could be questioned whether or not the quality of that stuff is so good, but anyways, they do a lot of stuff and very cheaply around home automation, so things like light bulbs, etc. And so they're overhauling basically their smart home strategy. And they're fully embracing Matter. So Matter, which is basically there's a couple of competing standards, Zigbee and Matter, etc. And they based it around two different things. But basically, the long and short of this is that IKEA is coming out with 20 new Matter over Thread devices. So Thread is the protocol, Matter is the messaging protocol, Thread is the transport. Very low power, etc., transport, etc. They're going to use it for all sorts of things: sensors, smart lights, remotes, air quality monitors, etc. And it makes sense from that perspective, but it's going to be so. There's always been this contention of Zigbee versus Matter, for example, and there are a lot of people, tout Zigbee. So for a long time. This is what IKEA did. They touted Zigbee, and they're going to retain they've got this thing called TouchLink that they have. They're going to allow direct pairing between these devices, but the future for all this is going to be based around Matter over Thread. So for those folks who are keen on the home automation DIY stuff, which I am as well, this is just an interesting sort of FYI.
Yeah, this is interesting. Unfortunately, we don't have an IKEA nearby. We are I think it's about an hour and a half away. So we don't get to go there very often. We've been there a few times, but like I said, it's not like I'm just going to run there real quick type of thing. It's always as we're passing through that area. They have some really cool stuff. I wasn't aware of all the smart home stuff, but
oh yeah, it's a big space.
Yeah, we kind of tried the smart home thing for a little bit.
Yeah,
Couldn't find the right itch to scratch with it, and ended up with a
yeah,
bunch of
yeah.
disheveled things that don't want to work
What often
together.
happens? What often happens is you're in the car and you say to your wife, "Watch this," and you drive up, and then the car door opens automatically, and she's like, "Okay, what's the big deal?" Right? So that's the wife acceptance factor on this is very low, because it's easy to implement, but that's also a double-edged sword because then you start doing these convoluted scenarios like imagine we have the lights turn up at a certain time and then the shutters come down and the light, whatever, this turns on and that turns off, and then sometimes things don't communicate well, and then for whatever reason they just fail, right? Like, this is a common scenario with DIY. It's like, this is why we end up screaming at our smartphones with Siri. It's the same problem. Devices just stop working and then suddenly you're trapped out of your house or something, so yeah. So thread, matter over thread as a protocol, for example, is the competing standard. It's technically superior, but Zigbee's been everywhere for a long time. So yeah, it's just interesting to see this.
So while we're on the subject of smart home, this is an
Okay.
issue. This is an issue in the States, especially where I live. So we spent the entire 4th of July weekend with no internet, thanks to Spectrum, because they had a mass outage that just kept going and going and would not give up. And I can imagine trying to have a smart home with
Oh, sure.
no internet for 3 days. Like,
Sure.
it was bad enough. Like, I couldn't control the doorbell and the backlight security systems on the house for 3 days straight. But I couldn't imagine, like, if I couldn't work my thermostat and my oven and like whatever the heck else I've tethered to this stupid network that doesn't
a
stay
lot of them are
online.
a lot of them are based around a hub, so not everything switches off. There are some things that do, like voice commands, for example, that have to go to a remote server to process the voice, for example, that might turn off, but it's typically around a hub. Not saying that it's not a problem. If you're remote and you're like, oh, it's like open the pod bay doors, Hal. The same problem.
Yeah. Yeah. Our Ling cameras, I don't know what they have to do to the cloud, but like you cannot do normal controls on them.
Yep.
If they don't have internet. So
Yep.
yeah, we had no doorbell. We had no security out back. It's not a big deal where we are. Like, it's not like we need security that bad.
Yeah.
But I just couldn't imagine having more stuff reliant on a service that is this prone to outages. Yeah. Infrastructure here. We need to get it together, man. We need to get it together. I wish we had options. That's the problem when you have a monopoly on certain things like internet. Like we don't have anywhere to shop around. There's no choice.
Yeah.
Like, this is it. This is the only one we have. You either get it or you don't.
Well, you do have options. You have satellite internet if you want. Obviously latency is going to be
Nothing.
high there. But
There's nothing competitive. Let's just say that.
Okay.
It's either dial-up speed or exorbitant prices or this one option.
Yeah.
the one sane option or some fringe things that are possibly worse.
I hear you.
We have Starlink, but again, the upload speeds are not great on that. It's like 200 down. I think it's maybe 20 up, which is on par with what we have through cable. But the other downside there is it's twice the price.
Right.
So it's like we could. It's a gamble of like, do we want to pay twice as much?
How much do you like your internet there, Ed? Do you like it?
Yeah, not only that.
Not that much.
And another problem with satellite internets is when it gets cloudy, say goodbye to the internet. That's why we don't have satellite TV anymore. Like every time it rained, there's like
Fair enough.
we're prone to not hurricanes. We're prone to tornadoes where we live.
Yes.
It's like, all right, there's going to be a storm and we're going to have to know if there's a possible tornado. And by the way, when there's a storm, you have no communications.
Right.
because satellites and clouds don't mix.
Hey, I hear you. I mean, I live in a neighborhood where all our lines are underground, and we had a hurricane cyclone, we'd call them, Cat 2 come through, and we were the only neighborhood in our city that didn't go down. Power, communication, whatever. And it's because from when this place was first built, they decided, very smartly, by the way, to put all the lines underground. Now, obviously, that has an incurring cost. You have to maintain them, etc., or build the trenches to begin with. But for things like that, it's really good.
Yep. Well, we're sure. All right, John. It's going to be August when we meet again.
Yes.
But
Yes.
we'll collect some interesting news bits and bring them online in a couple weeks.
Awesome.
But if you're out and about in the Midwest in the next couple weeks, I may see you.
Yes.
So have a good winter break, John, and I will see you in August. Thank you, everybody, and we'll be back as soon as I can get back in the office. Take care.
Take care.